2 bags of ice in here. I just got through running fresh water, so it should be below 60. Whoa.
It's really cold.
So I have a guess today. Okay, we're right at 59. Oh, wow. Okay, so start that timer.
Timer started. It's going.
Okay, so this is Jessica B. Singh. She owns the Scarlet Lens. It's she does photography.
And I have a photo booth.
And a photo booth, and she specializes in headshots and real estate, or families. She also does weddings, of course, and then senior photos, baby photos.
Yes.
She does all that, and she wants to do a bunch of destination locations where people go on vacations, and then they have a photographer with them that they trust. And then she also wants to do boudoir.
I do boudoir.
Yeah.
I do boudoir.
Yeah. You've even taken some lessons. Oh my gosh! Over taking photos in water.
Yes. I have dabbled in some underwater photography too. It's a goal of mine to do more underwater photography. Maybe not in an ice water bath, but it's on the list to add more things to the business.
So anyway, she's got all sorts of goals, and she's actually been on my podcast before. And at the time, the podcast was called Big Boss Mare with Brandy Von Holten, but now I just changed it to Country Tough with Brandy Von Holten.
Okay.
So you got one of the original ones, but you'll have to find her last name's B-Sing, but it's what, B-E-U?
It's B-U-E-S-I-N-G.
B-U-E.
Yep.
B-U-E-S-I-N-G.
Yep.
So there's that. So right now I've been reading this book called The Code of the Extraordinary Mind. And in that book it talks about how we obey these rules, and some rules we know and some rules we don't know that we know. They're subconscious. They're in our subconscious.
Yes.
So he actually, in this book, his name is Vasheen that wrote this book, and he talks about how we abide by these things called rules. It's B-R-U-L-E, which is bullshit rules. And man, I sure do love that book. It talks about how he had an unhealthy relationship. Show me what time we're at.
We're at 1:20.
Okay, lady, yeah. We have, he had an unhealthy relationship with money, and it was because he loved this one school teacher, but the teacher was always so broke, so he thought that to be a good teacher, you had to suffer. And then it also talked about how his parents, they thought he was asleep, and they were on the way to go get him a birthday gift. And so he knew how, that they were broke but spending money on him, so he felt guilty about that. And there was another thing, but he had this unhealthy relationships with money, and he was thinking that money was a bad thing, and that's a bullshit rule. That's a rule. So in that book it talks about how we live our whole life based on what other people think that we should be doing. So I just want to tell you, like, a rule that a lot of people think is that you've got to be skinny to be healthy. And I make healthy choices every day, and I'm trying to be a good middle-sized girl, but I'm trying to be the best big girl that I can be right now, and that includes doing ice water baths. And Jessica's over here because she actually works better whenever we're together. Yep. So she's, increasing her business by working together.
And grounding.
Yeah, and grounding. And you make healthy choices all the time.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Lots of healthy choices.
There we go. This was day number 159.